Hello and welcome, I'm your Code Monkey, and here let's check out the top new games made with Unity and launch in May 24. This was another really tricky month, lots of really awesome looking games. There's a bunch that graduated from early access with thousands of very positive reviews, so if you, like me, normally wait for the full release, then now is the time to play a bunch of these. The reason why I make these videos is to show you everything the engine can do. The only limit is really just your own skills and imagination, and the variety and the awesomeness of the games shown here really puts that to the test. All the games are uniquely impressive, so the list is in no particular order, except for the number one game that is my personal pick of the month. Sign up to the Game Dev Report to stay up to date with the latest news in game dev, tech, and gaming. I've covered how Steam Next Fest is more crowd, but I still think you should participate. I've covered the news on how the developers behind Among Us took their millions and are using that to fund the community. Raspberry Pi has already sold over 60 million units, and they just went public with an IPO worth $700 million. Unity has published an excellent free ebook all about dots with 49 pages full of information. A supposedly niche game all about parkour has made $750,000 in just 1 week. Also started including a really nice section on some really interesting videos that I saw recently, and you can send the newsletter to a friend to get some nice rewards. So sign up with the link below. And as a quick mention, this awesome bundle was supposed to have ended already, but they extended. You've got tons of awesome assets to make just about any game you can think of, and all of this for just 25 bucks. So if you missed it the first time, definitely get it quickly. I'm guessing they won't extend a second time. Alright, so starting off at number 10 with a huge game that just hit 1.0, it's V-Rising. I played it back when it came out into early access. I really enjoyed my time with it. You play as a vampire on the hunt for blood to regain your strength. You can use all kinds of weapons and skills at your disposal. It's got some really great combat system and a very expensive world. There are hero enemies that roam this open world, so you gather your strength before you can actually face them. But at the same time, remember, you are a vampire, meaning sunlight and garlic actually hurts you. Be on the lookout for areas or enemies carrying garlic, and go out at night or jump from shadow to shadow during the day. This sunlight mechanic is really fun. I actually recreated it myself in a previous video. It also has a very robust building mechanic where you can build the vampire castle of your dreams. The game has already been very successful in early access, and it looks like the full release is also being very well received. It's got over 80,000 reviews at very positive. With the 1.0 version being out, this is now a great time to revisit this game. Then here's something cute and wholesome called Little Kitty Big City. If you've ever wanted to live the life of a cat, then this is the perfect game for you. You're a curious little kitty on an adventure on this large city. Try to catch some birds, rummage through some trash cans, and trip some unsuspecting humans. Or of course, you can just push all kinds of objects to the ground. You can also meet all kinds of other animals, like dogs, birds, and complete some quests for them. With this being a cute, wholesome game, you can also obviously dress up your cat in various cute outfits. The game is finding huge success, which is always great. It's quite amazing how on Steam you can find success with some really hardcore violent games, and also with something like this, very cute and cozy. It's got 3,500 very positive reviews at 94% positive, so people really like this. Then if you want to cause tons of chaos and mayhem, check out Instruments of Destruction. This is another one that just graduated from early access. The game is all about extremely satisfying destruction. You can use all kinds of vehicles with bullets, missiles, lasers, or really just smash through everything. The destruction mechanics and the physics are all really impressive. Everything breaks into a million pieces in a really satisfying manner. This is a super advanced interactive physics sandbox. You've got 50 unique missions with all kinds of challenges for you to complete, and you do those using a variety of vehicles. It also includes a powerful vehicle editor, so you can build your own machine of destruction. Then you can also share that creation on the Steam Workshop or see what other vehicles the community has built. This is one of those games that takes one concept and pushes it to the max. People really like it, with 1,000 reviews at 93% positive. Next, if you want some fast-paced, stylish action, check out MULLET MADJACK. It's a super fast-paced FPS where your health is just a timer. Move fast, really fast, kill some enemies, destroy the environment, and do all kinds of cool tricks to gain more time to make it to the end of the level. The whole thing has an excellent 90s anime vibe. The game is definitely oozing with style. The animated cutscenes look really excellent. You go through the campaign in these gorgeous handcrafted levels, memorize their layout to try to beat your high score, or play in endless mode with random levels forever. The reviews are calling this something like Hotline Miami in FPS and with the style of Super Hot, so if that mix sounds interesting, definitely give it a look. It is out now with already over 2,000 reviews, overwhelmingly positive at 98% positive. That's a near perfect score, so people really love this one. Then for another one, just out of early access, here is Songs of Conquest. Right away, this game has an awesome visual style. Pixel art 2D sprites in a nice 3D world with lots of gorgeous effects. I think this was first shown in some kind of Summer Games Fest or an event like that, and people right away really liked how this one looked. There's just something about using old school sprites with modern effects. And beyond the visuals, in terms of gameplay, this is like the classic Heroes of Might and Magic games. It's turn-based strategy with lots of fantasy magic and some intense battles against all kinds of enemies. You walk around the overall map, gather your heroes and build up your kingdom. Then plan your towns and plan your squads, so we only go full of archers or a handful of mages. You can play in either handcrafted maps or go into random mode for endless replayability. You can also play either solo or with a friend. Like I said, this one just graduated from early access where it was already having tons of success. It is out now in 1.0 with 7,000 very positive reviews. Then how about a city builder in a wholesome fairy tale world? Here is Fabledom. Very nice looking game, perfectly captures the fairy tale vibe, which definitely makes it stand out in a sea of many city builders. You start off as usual from nothing, build up your kingdom bit by bit, explore this fantasy world and encounter all kinds of creatures. Some are nice and friendly and others not quite as nice. There are some cyclops, some witches on brooms, there's dragons, and of course it has flying pigs. It also features a romance system where you interact with different rulers from 6 kingdoms that give you quests and unique buildings. Build your economy, set up trade routes, grow and evolve from a tiny hamlet into a bustling kingdom. This is yet another one that just graduated from early access. It is out now with 1.0 with almost 4,000 very positive reviews. The setting alone really makes it nice and unique, so if you're into city builders and you want to try something a little bit more different, then check it out. Next, for something with an old school feel, here is Crow Country. It's got some nice PS1 style graphics, very crunchy and low poly textures and low poly assets. It also has some great post-processing effects, and another thing that gives this look is having a perspective camera but with a very low FOV. It makes the game clearly in 3D but very tight. This is actually a visual style that I'd love to try out someday. The game itself is survival horror, so there's been a mysterious disappearance and the abrupt closure of a theme park. It's up to you to go investigate exactly what happened. The game features lots of unique environments. You can interact with all sorts of objects, you can pick up things and have a nice inventory system. Then of course there are a bunch of really creepy characters waiting to pounce on you. Keep track of your ammo to make sure you don't run out. Explore the park, see the sights, and solve the mystery. People are seriously loving this one. It's got 2,000 reviews at 99% positive. That definitely makes this one of the best reviewed games in the entirety of Steam. So if you like this genre, PS1 survival horror, then definitely give this a try. Then here's something really stylish called Cryptmaster. Right away you can see how it looks very unique. Standing out is one of the hardest part nowadays, and this game succeeds right away at that. It's an old school dungeon crawler, so you move left, right, front, back. It's all about letters and words. You can either write those letters or words, or you can actually just speak with your voice. You can say whatever you want. Each encounter has multiple solutions to discover, decipher some forgotten spells, and then unleash them in battle. The game features tons of unique gameplay mechanics, everything from creature collecting to card combat, and even some bard rap battles. It's certainly a very unique game, not just in visuals, but actually in mechanics as well, and people do seem to love it. It's got over 500 overwhelmingly positive reviews. Then if you want to run your own esports team, look at Esports Godfather. It's a deck building game simulating MOBA esports. You are the team coach, and it's up to you to build your team, scout for promising athletes, customize how they train, join some matches, and lead your team to victory. You can give some orders to your team, like for example, should your jungler initiate a fight on the bottom lane, or should everyone just push the top lane? The match and the opponents are always learning, so you need to adapt to your strategies in order to win. Also, interestingly enough, I think this is the first game that I'm seeing with the AI-generated content disclosure on Steam. They used AI for character portraits and some illustrations. I was curious to see how players would react to this, and it seems that the answer is actually similar to using assets in your games, meaning all that players want is really just fun games to play, and in this case the players are loving the game regardless of what was used to build it. They have over 1,000 reviews at 90% positive. And at number 1 for my personal pick of the month, here's a very unique game that calls itself an engineering roguelike. It's called Rogue Voltage. It's an extremely inventive game. You have a board where you can wire some circuits, you build machines and chain reactions to do all kinds of attacks and actions. Decide where you want to spend your energy, so should you do an attack, or maybe use a healing potion, or store that energy in a battery in order to make a massive attack in the future. Another interesting mechanic is how you actually have control over when the turns happen, so you can push your units either forwards or backwards in time in order to dodge all kinds of environmental attacks. Explore this world and try to make it to the end one step at a time. Different nodes have different enemies to fight or rewards together. It looks extremely unique and people do seem to like it. It is out now in early access with 200 very positive reviews. Alright, so that's 10 awesome new games made with Unity launch in May 24. I hope this list helped you see how the Unity engine is capable of building anything. The limits are really just your own skills and imagination. Check out my own game, Thank You Guardians, and I hope you enjoy playing it.